Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app.
That is the truth. Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases. I just finished the audio title Lightbringer, which is the 6th in a series, and I just love it. It's so detailed, and being able to listen to it really, really helps me keep up with what's going on.
Try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappins or text crappins to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappins or text crappins to 500-500. Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the hilarious and lovely Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch. We're doing, it's Orange County Reunion Day, part 1 of only 2 episodes. I was actually sort of surprised and delighted that the reunion is only 2 episodes, because I actually feel like this season had enough stuff in it to go for 2 episodes, but it's 3 episodes, but it's 2 episodes. We're recapping that. Just some quick reminders. Crappens on demand if you want to see us record, not just listen. We record as long as we remember to hit the record button. We record all our recaps on video, and they're available on YouTube. You can check those videos out on YouTube. But first, they're exclusive to not Julie Chen, but first, they're exclusive to our Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. So if you want to see them right away, check them out there at Crappens on Demand. Also, bonus episodes. We have a weekly bonus episode. This week, we did the Beverly Hills trailer. There are trailers all over the place. The Potomac is coming. Potomac and Miami both landed, and they are both amazing trailers. So we will be having the breakdowns for all of that. Just Patreon support on Patreon, and you get access to that, and you can also watch the trailers along with us. It's super fun. So that's the big stuff. Thanks to everyone who came to Crappy Hour this week. Dwell Hellos next week on Wondery Plus, and that's all the good stuff. We got like a big old reunion to talk about here. Okay, you excited, Ronnie?
We sure do. Now, when you said you were surprised that it's only 2 parts, I was too until I watched it, and I was like, not surprised now. Did they take tranquilizers? What's going on? How do you have a reunion where the most energetic person is Gina? I mean, good God, the woman is literally being held together with twisty ties. Her dress looks like it's being held together by twisty ties in the middle. And she's the one yelling the most and doing the most. Everyone else is exhausted. Heather's like, I cannot argue with you people. Tamra's like, I don't want to look as crazy. And Shannon looks tranquilized. I mean, what's going on?
I mean, they're basically on the Mandalorian set, except it's taking place in Orange County. So I think they're just like this 3D IMAX projection that they have going on of the beach. I think it's just kind of lulled the tranquility. I mean, you could hear like seagulls in the background. Like at one point, Tamra went off. She's like, that's my opinion, bitch. And then we hear a caw, 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 caw. I was like, it's hard not to be relaxed when you hear those sounds around you.
Yeah, and they even said at one point, like, oh my God, we're all so calm. I guess it's because the ocean's behind us. I'm not that way when the ocean's behind me either. I'm terrified. I'm like, this thing's going to swallow me up. I mean, is it only people who have read the Bible who are terrified of the ocean? The ocean's a terrifying fucking place.
Also, Bravo really failed. I think that the projection should not have been of the ocean. The projection should have been the active demolition of Cut Fitness, and that would have gotten Tamra really activated. She's just like amongst her gym being demolished.
You know that bitch. There wasn't enough in there to even demolish. I mean, take out the equipment and you've basically got an AutoZone. I mean, hang some tires on the wall.
It was actually pre-demolished. You know, like when jeans are like pre-shrunk or like they're pre-ripped or pre-acid washed, like those floors being uneven the way they were and just the lack of people in there already sort of felt like a condemned building, you know?
I know. You know, speaking of pre-washed jeans, I went to the H&M today, which is very rare for me. I'm usually just an old lady person. But I was like, I'm going to try this H&M. I'm going to try these kids' clothes. You want to talk about pre-ruined things, okay? All those clothes fit me like I've already gained 10 pounds and my ass crack is sticking out. I'm like, whose waist is this low? Are people born youthful now with like just lower waists? Like, does nobody have a fupa anymore? Does nobody have a dimple on their ass crack that's hanging out? How could I be the only one?
Well, I'm so glad you brought this up because really, I mean, this show does sort of have the feeling of fast fashion, right? Like if any person really represented a sloppy hem, it's Gina. You know, it's like if anyone represented an uneven placket, it's Emily. I mean, look, I just say these things just to brandish my new knowledge about sewing because tonight is my sewing class. But it's true though. Yeah.
So did you see this whole thing with Gina where Gina got mad at Andy on Watch What Happens Live? Because, you know, that show really does go too far. And I know that Bethany, I don't even want to say that because I know Bethany's doing her whole Andy Cohen, that guy sets everybody up and then he just gets rich. Like if she's just heard of reality TV before. By the way, just in case we haven't said it for a while, fuck you. Like shut up. Like you fucking hypocrite.
No, Ronnie, she is new. She's been on reality TV for 20 years. She doesn't really understand the genre. She didn't know what she was getting into in year 19.
Had no idea. Had no idea. Profited in no way from like literally dragging other women through the mud and calling them whores and sluts on TV. Anyway, the point is, she does have a point with the whole like, and we've been saying this for years. Some of these questions on Watch What Happens are just so fucking rude. I mean, my least favorite ones are like, wow, look at your new face. Look at your boobs. Let's talk about your new boobs. Are you on Ozempic? You know, his whole thing. That stuff usually makes me crazy, but this one, the question, he had Heather and somebody else on there. And he's like, all right, we have Shady Whale. Shady Whale, ask a question. They have this little cartoon whale. And it's like, whose house of the Real Housewives of Orange County, this is a question for Heather, whose house, who could sell their home and make the least amount of money from selling their home? What the fuck kind of question is that, eh? And Heather's like, you know, that's kind of mean. I'm not going to answer that, Shady Whale. And so Andy's like,
Gina doesn't even live in a house. I mean, it's not fair when you're comparing a box to a house.
Who? Gina?
Gina. It's not a fair question.
Now, what if they sold the lunch bag that they live in? Would that count?
I'm not sure about what price RVs are catching these days.
So he's like, yeah, so he asked that and she's like, I'm not going to answer that. That's kind of mean. And so it's like, well, it's Gina, right? I mean, obviously she lives in a casita, or doesn't she, like, isn't that her thing? Like she lives in the casita. And so Gina put that, of course, because Gina, when anybody says anything about Gina, it's like, oh my God, kick someone when they're down. I'm mother, which we'll get into later. But, I had to agree with her on this one. I mean, how fucking rude. But she goes to Instagram and she's like, nah, Mr. Cohen. I would just like to point out that I'm one of 4 people who own their house on our cast. And I'm the youngest of all of those people. And for you to take it to this level, I'm not very happy, Mr. Cohen. I'm not very happy. Okay, Gina, you're very victimized. Now, that said, I agree with Gina. What a shitty question. But welcome to Watch What Happens Live. Did you just realize what show you're on to?
Yeah, it's a shitty question. The questions get a lot shittier than that too. It's a shady question. It's a stupid question, and to be outraged about that, I don't know. I just think it's very funny, especially on this episode, when they just keep on telling Heather, you need to lighten up. You need to lighten up. Why don't you have a sense of humor? That Gina and Emily are the first people to be outraged about literally anything. Like, oh my God, you talked about my doormat. Why would you talk about my doormat? Like, it's just, I don't even want to hear it from Gina. So we start off at Culver Studios where this is being filmed, which made me laugh because I'm like, it's the first reunion filmed from inside a Dutch baby.
I know, doesn't it make you just think of the studio as being the laziest studio ever?
That's why people were lackadaisical.
Studios. Yeah, hey, it's just Chef like, I need a snack. The slogan of Culver Studios, I love Chef Kim.
I'm surprised the reunion didn't look like a Nickelodeon special with just like spaghetti and Dutch baby falling on their heads as the studio eats it, you know?
Well, Gina did dress like slime.
Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Karen. I'm actually one of 4 people who owns this dress on my cast, and I'm the youngest one, so maybe you should think about that before you shame my outfit.
I am a mother.
My
kids are this close to having social media.
My children! My children!
Okay. By the way, I was on her side when she was saying my children, but she just was so funny when she said, like, I was like, I'm laughing at you, but I'm on your side. But just know I'm going to be saying,
My children!
Well, this show,
children.
that's what's so infuriating about these shows is that you're right, Gina. Like, actually, the whole episode, most of the episode, especially the last half. I mean, Gina really had the moral high ground here. She was correct. But still, it's like you were just overplaying it, you know?
yeah. Well, you know, you got to do what you have to do. By the way, okay, this is going way far ahead, but I have to say, one of the funniest parts of this entire episode was the cliffhanger where she's like, it's getting to a point where I'm not even sure I want to do this show anymore. I'm like, oh God.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. I wonder what will, I can't bear to imagine. Like, can I even wait a week to find out if Gina's really going to commit to not coming back?
Gina is not going to quit, okay? God.
This is like
one
me.
thing we can be assured of in the year 2023. A lot's changing. Gina will not quit.
But it's also like me going up to the Lakers and being like, you guys, I'm really unhappy with these outfits, like these uniforms. I'm not even sure I can play for you guys anymore. And they're like, yeah, you weren't really on our level in the first place. So it's not a concern.
There's a few things that are certain in life. Death, taxes, and Gina's never going to quit this show. Like, we'll guarantee that. Okay.
Okay, so we're at Culver Studios. Okay, we've got
She's the human embodiment of her dress. Cheap, loud, and won't quit. That's her full dad today.
So we're one frame into this episode, Culver Studios. Okay, people are arriving. Jen's excited. By the way, so we see glimpses of the set. It's literally the set from Soap Dish, and so which is funny because the soap within a soap on Soap Dish is called Laguna Beach. So it really could not be more appropriate.
No.
If you haven't,
oh
no, I'm sorry. No,
the
it's
actual
not called,
soap is called The Sun Also Sets.
But they refer to, I'm sorry, you're right. They refer to another soap called Laguna Beach that's beating them.
I mean, come on, guys. They're calling our show The Sun Also Sucks.
I take offense to that. What about the children? I apologize.
Children!
The point is, if you haven't seen Soap Dish, this is your weekly reminder that you should watch Soap Dish. Okay, so Heather shows up wearing a shirt that says "Peace and Love," peace and love, and being much wealthier than everyone around you. And then Tamra's in a mask. She's like,
I'm Jason Batch.
it's just all the backstage, like getting ready for the reunion stuff that we're seeing.
Yeah, and little clips of what's to come.
Yeah.
And then we just see Shannon stumble out of her trailer. The door swings open and Shannon comes out looking like the house she clipped. I mean, let's just say it. And she's bright yellow. She looks like she was a car in Mario Kart that ran through a chain link fence that was bright yellow. She looks insane. I don't really know what to say. She looks kind of out of it, and she's like stumbling. Her hair and extensions are insane.
That explains why she was brought to the stage by a little cloud and a fishing pole.
Well, I guess I drove off the course.
So
Donkey Kong just throws a banana in her face.
Well, I did not appreciate. Whoa! You can't. Well, now everyone understands what really happened in that video. There was a banana on a street in Newport. Wasn't my fault. Wow.
So, she is giving, for a season where so much seems to center around the term snuffleupagus, she really was kind of giving a Big Bird, kind of like drag Big Bird, maybe. Like Charo.
Big Bird's like too dirty. Like Big Bird's weathered. She has more of a Tweety Bird. I would give her the Tweety Bird. It's just, I think everybody looked crazy because on this show they're like bright jewel tones. Everybody needs to wear bright. It's California, bright jewel tones. And then they do. And then Heather comes out dressed in all black.
Which is amazing because it's also against the rules. Isn't that against the rules in the Orange County reunion? Because wasn't Shannon saying like,
I can never wear black. They won't let me wear black and everything. I can't wear a full-length gown. I can't wear... What I really want to wear is a hoop dress that just takes up the whole sofa, but they won't allow that.
I was trying to wear a dress made completely out of Shannonimas, but they said no, so here I am in a Tweety Bird dress. Tweety Bird, who has been fenced in. Can't fence me in.
But you know what Tweety Bird needs? A Citylonic.
so. They sit down on the soundstage, but the screen hasn't been turned on yet, so it's just dark, and they're all confused. They're all like very. They feel uneasy. Tamara's like, "Where are we, bitch? She's like thrashing around like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, and Andy is like, "I want to take you guys somewhere. Okay, what do you say? We hit the beach." And they turn on the lights, and it's just like ocean all around.
Yeah, it is weird. It's one of those virtual reality type things. I mean, I watch all those science fiction shows. So it was kind of like that, except it's like when the Westworld people turn against the humans.
Yeah.
It's like they're all coming to life, and you should all be terrified. So
This
Andy's
is
yeah.
like over the weekend, the big talk on social media was the opening of the Las Vegas Sphere. Of this, like, did you just see those footage that like you have like the Las Vegas Sphere, and this is like the Culver Studios Pebble. I mean, like this is like its version, Bravo's version of the Vegas Sphere.
Well, I think it's funny because this is also how they film Star Wars, right? Isn't this how they do all the Star Wars shows?
Yep.
What's his buns from Swingers? I'm so disrespectful.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Came up with this new way of shooting everything. It's like this. It's like a big room. It's like a big dome with screens, and they put everything on the screen, and those are the sets.
It's not crazy.
You know what?
Thanks for coming to Culver Studios, guys.
I actually was like the first time. I actually just recently watched The Mandalorian, and I was my favorite part of it was when someone saw Baby Yoda and said, "But my children, my children." Baby Yoda.
You can't catch me, Mandalorian bitch.
Baby Yoda is almost on social media.
Baby Yoda's like, get a job. Like, wow, babe, what are Baby Yoda's first words gonna be? Get a job.
Get a job. Baby Yoda is not the direction we were expecting. He took his sorting hat gave him Gumbelson. It was strange.
The sorting hat. So the sorting hat, the house the sorting hat puts you in is get a job. Your mother would be ashamed of you, sushi girl. So the lights come up, and we're at the beach. We see the ocean, and Gina's like,
Oh my God, this is where we live.
and Andy's like,
No, that's the set of Roseanne. Hold on, let me just.
Let's see.
That's
All
where
right.
Gina lives. All right, click. Okay, it's a beach. Here we are.
Can we get some footage of the bed from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Okay, Gina, does this make you feel more at home?
can we get the interior of a Popeye's chicken? Okay, just for this Gina segment.
Does anyone have a nanny cam and a shoebox at the moment? Can we just plug into that?
Popeye's chicken coming up a lot this week. Okay,
Everything
well,
is.
welcome.
It's the season 17 reunion. I'm Andy Cohen, and this is a first. We are basing this reunion at a beach. I feel very immersed. Guys, I'm immersed. Hey, beach. Love your new boobs.
All right, let's take a look at the beach. What do we have there? There's Lynn Curtin selling some cups on a card table.
Lynn, you can't lead a shell game when every cup has a shell under it. You're gonna lose money.
Hey, lots of Easter eggs if you look closely. There's Shane Keogh yelling at his mom.
Welcome to the boardwalk, where every single one of us has a caricature face.
So Tamara's like,
I'm a little distracted. There's like birds flying by.
and there are some birds flying by, in fact. And so Andy's like, Tamra, welcome back to your first reunion in 3 years. How did it feel to be unpaused? And she's like,
It felt great, Andy. I was like a little nervous to come back. That's why I drank a lot. Nothing's my fault.
I'm like, okay, yes, Tamra's gonna do the whole drinking excuse right out the gate.
Yeah.
Emily, you look beautiful, and you looked beautiful before. How much weight have you lost, Emily? Wow. How much? I'm going to ask each of your boobs separately.
And she's like, I've lost like 40 pounds, Andy.
Great. And I'm not saying you look better because you lost the weight, but I'm just saying you look equally as beautiful, but a little bit more equally than you did before. So
I just want you to know you look the same in any way you are. I would say the same thing to you as I'm going to say right now. 80 pounds bigger, 80 pounds smaller. Your dress is cheap and terrible. Okay.
Hey, can we replace this image of the beach with a kitchen? Okay, check out this nice empty kitchen. Emily, does it remind you of growing up? Ha! Okay, back to the beach.
So then Heather, he's like, you're in black tonight at a beach. And she's like, is it apropos or is it punitive, Andy?
I would like to adjudicate this situation with the black on the beach.
I love that she actually brought in punitive.
She
tonight.
did.
I died.
I was really happy. I was actually happiest for you. So then Andy was like, he's like, hi, Gina, you are officially a real estate agent. Congratulations. Have you gotten a listing in the Penny Saver yet?
She's like, oh my God, Andy, I've got 2 houses in escrow.
Okay, now do you remember what escrow is?
Yeah, it's when crows land on your house.
It's a gay crow, Andy. Crow. Crow. No offense, gays. No offense, gay birds.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So, Jen, welcome to your first reunion. How many hours of meditation did you do to get ready for today?
Well, Andy, I first of all, thank you so much for asking how I am. I really appreciate it. You might notice, okay, I'm bored of Jen. She's got a crazy dress on. Wow. Congratulations on dressing like columns with curtains. Looks great.
Columns with curtains. And last but certainly not least, please welcome an egg yolk with extensions, Shannon Storms Bador. Shannon, how many pounds of hair would you say are on top of your head right now? And are you mad at them?
Well, I'm in a bowl, Andy.
So Andy's like, okay, this year we saw the return of our favorite possum on a dumpster guarding her trash. She was burning rubber in the beginning of the season, but throughout the season, she burnt through a lot of her friendship. It's Tamra. Tamra, let's watch your incredibly thirsty clip scene.
Yes. And by the way, so we saw like the uncensored version, the Peacock version, and this is my first time seeing it. And wow, Tamra, hearing Tamra cursing without the bleeps is really intense. I was in fact clutching my pearls during this. It was a lot of
There was I was really, I was like, wow, what a trash mouth. And that's coming from me. I'm a garbage human being. And even I was like, whoa, yo.
Well, your friendship with Shannon came very far this season. Where are you two right now?
We're sitting on the couch, Andy.
No, not literally. I can see you, you dumb possum. I'm saying, where emotionally are you guys at?
I can tell you who comes far, Andy. Andy. That's right, Andy. Yeah, still comes real far, Andy. Yeah.
Hey, let's put up a camera of the local skate park. There's your mom's boyfriend. Oh, he just fell on his face. Okay, we'll check in. Hopefully he gets some help.
Amazingly, he's still holding a tray of Costco gelatinous chicken samples. That's a talented guy.
Looks like he used a Kirkland brand olive oil jug as his skateboard. Well, that's your problem right there.
So he asked if Shannon still is self-centered, and Tamara's like,
Nah, she texts me now and says, can you talk? Instead of just calling me and crying all the time. It's really funny, Andy.
Yeah, I feel like we are back. We're two, I feel like we're back as sisters. And I feel like, for sure, if I have any hardships in perhaps the next 10 days, she will not weaponize them against me on future seasons. I'm really looking forward to this friendship.
Well, Lou from Fuss says, Emily, why would you even want to have a relationship with Tamra? She calls you horrible things like an angry girl in the press. One of the worst criticisms we've ever heard hurled on this show. Angry girl. Wow. What do you think about that, Emily?
Well, my main goal is that we're friends, and so, like, she never knew who I was, so I thought it was important that we really have a clean slate, even though we did actually share this space for 2 years on the show. You know, it's all good.
She knew who you were. She knew you through your mutual bunko gay, Badwig, whatever his name is. And then after she had a falling out with Badwig, you stayed friends with Badwig. And then, I mean, I remember all this. She knows who you are. It's not like she just didn't know who you are. She knows who you are. She just didn't like you.
Yeah, it was a weird allowance that Emily was giving. So Tamara says,
In my defense, it was really difficult watching this show, being on it, and hearing all the talk about me. It was a huge transition to me just being on a dumpster and no one even watching.
So wasn't Emily on a season with Tamra? Or was Tamra already fired?
Yeah, they were on at least one season, if not two, together.
Yeah, I thought so. So then Gina, you know, they're really playing teams on this show, which they do on every show. But Gina is just going to say anything to Heather and Emily. She's going to stick up for them no matter what. So even when she's not, and Emily does it for her as well. But anytime it comes, Gina's like,
Oh my God, I understood, you know, because like Tamra, that's like a big rug to be pulled out, but like poor Emily, am I right, everybody? Am I right?
it's like, okay. Yeah. So Andy's like, Heather, stick up from your ass. Says, how does it feel being in a friendship with Tamra when she came back and turned everyone against you? This is pretty funny. Hey, Tamra, high fives. We're on the beach.
Coming into today, I think there's a case for feeling a little vindicated. And guess what? I don't feel that way. Instead, I feel incredibly wealthy. And it feels great. But I suppose I feel sad too.
Well, I feel sad too. I didn't come to turn everybody against you, so what do you think about... Hold on, I'm going to move my head really fast and press my lips a little bit.
Tamra, okay, guess what? You're going to get the claw hands. They're going to come directly at you. There wasn't one episode where you did not say something unkind about me. Not one.
Well, I did come into this season not really knowing where I stood right here because you were your co-host of your show, one of you two, which I know it wasn't you. That's why I added in the co-host.
Was it Daisy Fuentes?
She said that there's no place for Tamra on this show anymore.
And Heather's like, no, I meant parking space for Tamra. You had been fired. So.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it just feels like such a waste to put your small car in my Bentley spot. I mean, it's just, there's just so much, we could just maximize that space so much better. And it was not me that said that. You made a comment somewhere that I'd called Andy to tell him this, and I want to assure you that I'm just a tiny, well-established actress cog in the Andy Cohen machine and nothing more.
If I have 5 minutes with him, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about how much more rich I am than Andy, even though he basically runs a network.
You know, I mean, that's real right there, which is the name of the pilot that I'm auditioning for tomorrow. That's real. So,
well, isn't that something real for real? Well, just steal that one right away from me.
Andy's like, actually, she actually has never brought you up. Instead, she just said something about, how can you get me onto a reboot of The Mentalist? And I was like, I can't even help you. I didn't even know that was in the works.
Well, you know what? I'm crying now. I'm crying now because I'm terrible. Everybody's going to be coming for me because I'm the obvious liar of this entire season. So look at me, everybody. I'm crying right now. That's my feelings. It is my feelings.
Like a little seagull in the background. So Andy's like, well, new housewife Jenn came to us with 5 kids, a successful yoga studio, an ex-husband, a controversial boyfriend, a lot of Ed Hardy laundry to do, and a strange shawl thing on her shoulders today. Oh, and a good friend named Tamra. But that friendship got so messy that even a flying napkin couldn't clean it up. Because, you know, it was a napkin moment.
Well, after watching that entire boring segment, I have to say, Jen, this is one thing that Gina will never say, even after she moves into a new house. That's a lot to unpack. All right. All right. So,
Well, I do buy ragu in bulk, so in some ways it's true.
I just want to say it is so admirable that you foster children. That is amazing. Personally, I would just rather fill lots and lots of different,
I just want to
rooms
say,
with my own DNA, but personally, I love that you would do it. Okay.
and I just want to say to the good people of Foster Farms, I have just purchased your company with the money. We just have things to buy. We bought a chicken company, everyone.
So stupid. So
Listen, I don't have a lot of time to craft gems, okay?
So he's like,
So, what does fostering children give to you, ... that purchasing them doesn't? I'm sorry. Let's cut that part out. Cut that part out.
You know
So,
It was really great,
go ahead.
because thank you so much for that question, Andy.
Thank you.
Fostering children is something it's really something that's fulfilled me because, Will worked nonstop and I felt alone in my marriage. So I thought, why don't I just bring in a bunch of children and they could be my emotional crutches?
and Tamara's like,
do you feel like you did it because you're lacking love in your family?
she's like, yes, Tamara, that's kind of what I just said. So thank you for putting it in a much more offensive way. And Gina's like,
I just want to say one thing. Jen did not destroy her family. All right? And I want to say that because I had the same situation in my life. And, it's not bad that you just shifted the focus of your marriage.
I was like, okay, what are you fucking talking about, Gina? Okay.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people don't realize I was a foster parent, admittedly not of children, but of, gather signs, but still.
One time I fostered a fireplace, but it was in the middle of a room. It was in the middle of 3 rooms, as to call them. So I just want to say, that ended up not working out, and I sent it back to the fireplace orphanage, but still. So
I
never
once
went to that.
fostered a poster that said Paris and had a picture of the Eiffel Tower on it.
So thanks, Gina, for piping in. So Andy's like, well, Ryan was invited here. Why wouldn't Ryan come? I don't get it. And Jen's like, well, he thank you for that, Andy. First of all, thank you for the invitation. Ryan loves being invited places. He did want me to send you a picture of his scrotum. Okay, so I'll
Andy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's funny because I had a conversation with Ryan and I said, will you come to the reunion? And he said, I don't know. That's going to be about 8 hours or so that you're going to be on TV away from your phone, not at home and not able to check on me. And I said, yes. He said, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to the reunion. So I don't know why he didn't want to come.
On my way out, he said, enjoy your break. So that was fun. I'm sure he's doing okay.
Yeah, he said he was going to spend 8 hours at home, but don't call him because he doesn't want me to be distracted away from reunion activities.
So basically he doesn't want to get in a fight with Tamara because then he's going to look like an asshole for talking to a woman like that. And, it's really just a no-win situation for him, Andy. And Tamara's like,
Good. Yeah, that's wise. That's wise.
So, and then Emily's like, by the way, I have a question. Oh, well, Andy asked if there's a proposal that's going to be coming. And Emily's like, yeah, by the way, did you feel like he was ring shopping for the show? And she was like, no. We've talked about marriage a lot. He's ready. He's waiting on me. That was like a totally sincere ring moment. And he's like, yeah. And the good news is he loves married women. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. If he wants to send a dick pic my way, though, tell him, I can take a look at it, see what he thinks. See if it's going to land well. No problem. Free service.
I think it's also pretty amusing that Emily would ask that question. I mean, Shane had a terrible first year and got blasted all over the internet and then came back and they did like a fake renewing their vows thing so that Shane could, or like taking pictures for their next, whatever they were doing. Like, we're going to recreate the wedding photos. So Shane could get some good points on TV. So just a nice, interesting hypocrisy question there coming from counsel. Surely currently practicing counsel Emily.
Yeah. So Jen's like, well, I know my timeline doesn't make sense. And I know you guys think I was having sex in cars and doing all kinds of slutty things, but I wasn't. I assure you.
anything about sex and cars, so.
Listen, I got a fast car, and I wasn't having sex in it, though. So Andy's like, well, who here thinks it was a physical affair and not an emotional affair? So Tamara's like,
Well, we went to Cabo and with Ryan, and he like sat us down. I was like, Jen wasn't there, of course, because she was boning herself in a car, and told me like, oh, he's having an affair with Jen, and we were like, oh my god, like, but we know Will, like, this is crazy, bitch.
We know Will. And so Gina's like,
Oh, but are you Will's friend or are you Jen's friend? And Jen's like, yeah. And when did it turn into a takedown? When did you decide to do that, Tamra? I'm very angry today. I'm Jen. I'm Jen with gumption. Tamra, can you see it in my eyes? You better answer me. And Tamra's like,
When I found out that he cheated on you.
and Gina's like, but wait, did he cheat or were you on a break?
it was a break. It was a break. He had actually just requested a Kit Kat, in fact. So then we see like a crazy split screen where it's like Jen on one side and like three people on the other. It's all like scattered, not scattered. It's all divided up. And Emily's like, but doesn't it worry that he slept with someone so quickly? And Jen's like, I didn't love it. Who would? Who would love that? And Heather goes, why is she being attacked for all of this? This is like making fun of someone because of the length of their IMDb. This is an outrage.
And Tamra's like, because I want better for you. And Jen's like, it's none of your business, Tamra. And Tamra's like, yeah, you're correct, but I still care. And Jen's like, yeah, and you know what? It was none of your business to bring me on as your friend then. Why would you do that? She's like,
I did not bring you on as my friend.
Yeah, so then this all changes because now Tamra's like, she's like,
I was barely even speaking to you. I didn't even know who you were. Last time I checked, you actually had a yoga studio that had walls.
so then
Yeah.
Jen is like, but we were close. I mean, we were close. We weren't close. We weren't friends. We were friends. Like, tell me what it was for you, Tamra. Tell me.
and then Tamra goes,
Well, why don't you say it? Because you fucking already know about it.
it's like, Tamra, what is Tamra even saying in this reunion? Like, does
I
she
know.
ever make sense? Like, she's so slippery. She's 1 minute she's saying, oh, we weren't even close. I barely knew you. She goes, oh, really? Well, were we close or not?
Well, why don't you tell me?
You're the one saying you weren't close. What the hell? So Jen's like, but I was your fucking friend. That's what I'm saying. You're a piece of shit as a friend. I'm sorry. That was Andy.
Thank
I'm
you
so
so
sorry
much.
that I said that.
Thank you so much, though,
for
holding
hearing me
space
out,
for me
though.
to be able to say
And
that.
Tamra,
Thank you.
you know what? Thank you for letting me say fuck you. I mean, thank you so much.
So then Tamra goes,
Fuck off, you piece of shit, you cheated bitch.
and then Jenna's like, you're a fucking cheater too. I was like, who? Jen, good for you. And Tamra goes,
Oh, am I? Am I?
and Jenna's like, welcome to the club, Tamra. And Tamra's like,
I've been with my husband for 13 years. Where am I cheating, bitch?
And she's like, well, when you met Eddie, you were with Simon. She's
Then I left my husband. So, yeah.
yeah, after you were cheating on him with one of his friends that worked for him. So, and she's like,
Yeah, but you know what? I don't even care till she cheated, all right? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, bitch. Look, what do I care?
well, then stop calling me cheater. Stop calling me. I'm sorry. She goes, well, then stop calling me a. Jen's like, then quit saying that I'm a fucking cheater. And Jen goes,
Then stop calling me names.
and Jen says, I said you're a shitty friend, and you are. It's not a name. I'm just a description.
and Tamra goes,
Oh, yeah, but you're a shitty person.
wow, Tamra really can't help herself. Like, she's really trying to come in here being like,
I'm gonna cry.
and then she's like,
You're a shitty bitch.
so Andy's like, well, the perception is that she came on this show and you immediately went for her. And she's like,
Oh, yeah, but Emily and Gina were the ones who talked to her first.
yeah, with information that you gave them.
Yeah.
How does she get off with all of this? Nobody says a thing to her. So then she's like, I didn't even know that Ryan was cheating at the time, which is clearly a lie. And she's like, and I saw these text messages a year into your relationship, and he was cheating, and you're in a concert in San Diego, and he was texting this other girl to get in his bed naked, and she whips out pages of printed out text, which is so gross, because it's not to her, it's to some other lady, to Heather, a mean lady.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So she pulls out. Now, all of this, Tamra's gross, yes. Tamra's also right. She's
Yeah.
also completely correct. And Jen should not be with this fucking guy. It's so clear.
Yeah, so Andy's like, have you seen these messages? And Jen's like, yes, of course I saw them when we're going to the Papa Roach concert. And Jen is like, no, I communicated with the girl. Which I'm like, what does that mean though? So then Tamra has the printouts and she's like, well, I was going to a country concert, Hootie and the Blowfish cover band. And, because we go to a ton of concerts. Because they were like, do you remember which concert? She goes, it's hard to say. Could have been Blues Traveler, could have been Green's Visitor. I don't know. And Andy's like, well, I'm reading it, looking for that dick pic. I guess that didn't get printed out. Okay. But he's flirting with this person. He says, if I wasn't driving home from San Diego, I'd make you meet me at the house naked. Wow. Also, isn't that against the law to text and to sext and drive at the same time? This guy's a lot of balls.
And Gina's like,
Wait a minute. So you were with him when he got this text from this girl?
and Jen's like, yeah, but like the point is he only slept with her one time. No, the point is he said it was while you were on a break, and he's still texting that he wants this girl in his bed naked if he wasn't with you right now. It's like, come on, Jen, have some fucking self-respect. Jesus Christ. And Tamara's like,
Yeah, but they were texting for 3 months. And he even says at one point, are you in a committed relationship? Or no, she asked if he's committed. And he said, no. And then you found a picture of her that she sent him.
and she's like, oh, yeah, I saw the pic. And I was like, Ryan puts this picture. And he goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get her on the phone right now. I mean, I just don't know what he was basically wanting to call the the customer service, which I really respected, Andy. Because, if somebody's messing with my man, I really am glad that he can take it by the horns and escalate it up the service chain.
I have to say, seeing Kenny Chesney and knowing that my man was sending out sex to someone else, it actually made me feel really excited. Made me excited that I was with such a fabulous, fashionable man.
This is so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed for her because I like her and she does seem really sweet. And this is just so clearly bad. And especially having it all laid out and all the truth. And they were at a concert and while he's texting this up.
Yeah, it's so bad. So Andy's like, he's like, well, I'm curious, Shannon, your POV on your bestie Tamra's interactions with Jen all season long relating to Ryan. So Shannon's like, well,
In Cancun, I was sitting right next to Tamara and I was saying, stop, this is too much. This is too much. So then finally she put the mayo down and then I said, and also stop talking about Ryan. But thank you for giving me that mayo. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's after you were at the pool party saying, dig up more shit on her.
And Shannon goes,
I absolutely did not say.
and I was like, yes, you did, Shannon. I was standing right there. I heard you. You kept acting like you're the hero. Oh, you're the only one nice to Jen. Well, you wanted to dig, and you were like, oh, this is so juicy. We got to get it on camera. First of all, no, Shannon doesn't even talk like that. And why are you so worked up, Emily, about every little thing? None of this has anything to fucking do with you.
exactly. So yeah, and Shannon's like, I did not say any of that. And she's like, yes, you did. And Andy's like, okay, well, we're not going to solve it. I'm already bored. Let's move on. So Shannon, that's what Andy does when he just doesn't care anymore. We're not going to solve it.
Not gonna solve it.
Okay, well, again, Jen, you can believe what you want. I have
It's
only
basically
shown you.
Gina on a good day. Insolvent. All right, just had to get one in there. Please carry on.
Insolvent mysteries. So, Jen, you can believe whatever you want. I have only shown that I have supported you. And hold on. I just consulted the multiverse and in a different parallel universe, in everything, everywhere, all at Bador, I just got you off a DUI charge. So you're welcome.
And Gina goes,
Oh, yeah? Well, with Shannon's track record, you could believe what you want, Gina, okay?
I do not have a track record.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, you know what? Shut up. Stop trying to.
what did she say? Screw Gina?
She says,
I don't have a track record of trying to screw people, Gina. That's you.
by the way,
It's you, Gina.
suddenly it's okay to talk about track records. So then Emily is like, she's like, can I ask the dick pic story? Can I ask about this? Okay. Jen goes, 100%. Thank you so much
Is
for
that
asking about
something
that.
I can sign up for? Or is it just kind of a luck of the draw kind of a thing?
So Jen's like, I have a question. Why does Tamra have it? And Tamra's like, well, I was with Heather and Mean when she got it. And Jen goes, and did you screen grab it?
Yeah, sure did.
Jen's like, well, that's really fucked up. Thank you so much for being so fucked up, but that was fucked up. And if Heather's husband accidentally sent that to me, Heather Dubrow, I should say, then she's the first person I call, and it's off my phone. But that's also because I don't think I want Terry Dubrow's penis on my phone. That's a whole other issue, but you get what I'm saying.
And Tamara's like, oh, okay.
But also, isn't that considered revenge porn? I mean, if
Well,
Heather
one could
Amin
do
gets
that.
a dick pic off somebody and then screenshots it and starts sending it around, I mean, wouldn't that be like punishable under revenge porn laws? I think so.
The sad part about with this show is that you would have to say again, because that already happened on this show where the FBI got involved because Tamra accidentally sent Vicky's boobs to like a minor.
You're right.
I already did that.
No,
Now
it
I'm
wasn't an
back.
accident. Who was it too that she sent?
Oh, it was like her
Vicky's
daughter
boobs
or
to?
something. I don't remember.
Oh my God, God, you've got a good memory. I forgot about that.
So Tamra was like,
You know what? When she opened it at the restaurant, we were like, holy fuck, it's a lip dick! A lip dick message! My lip dick messaged you! And I was like, can I have another margarita, please? And I showed the waiter.
Well, I think he thought it was funny because we were actually at the that famous country band's concert, Limp Bizkit. So it actually, thank you, Tamara. Thank you for
Thank you so
making
much,
that one
Tamara.
make sense. Thank you so much.
we had just arrived at the Rap and Duke concert, and he was just about to sing Dahar Dahar, and then all of a sudden Ryan's like, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake. I sent my dick pic to Rap and Duke by accident.
So Jen's like, well, we were going on a date night that night, and we were getting in the shower, and Tamara's like,
Wait a minute, I thought you said you were on a plane.
and then we see a clip of Jen being like, well, we were on a plane. And then we cut back, and Emily's like, yeah, that was a completely different story than when you were on Instagram, and you said you told the dick pic story on Instagram.
Well, thank you so much for correcting me. I think what I meant to say was I was eating a date on a plane, going to a date. So that's probably where all the confusion came from. But I was also eating plain yogurt, so there's a lot of dates and planes, you know?
Yeah, but all I was saying was why he sent it to me. You know, maybe I was thinking that on a date. I don't know. And Tamara's like,
Who sends dick pics on Snapchat at 47 years old anyway?
And I was like,
There are a lot of things that people might ask about why does Tamara do this at her age? That, you know.
Yeah, but I think like a lot of people, isn't that why you use Snapchat because that stuff goes away? But I don't know.
There are a lot of old senators who seem to get a lot of dick pic issues
Yeah.
from time to time. So so she's like, that was a personal moment for me, and it's like no one's business. So Heather's like, you know what? This is not fair. Who cares? How much longer do we have to listen to the pores fight?
And Emily's like, I don't think he's good enough for you there. I'll just go ahead and say it. I respect you too much, Jen. And Jen goes,
okay, can I give you an analogy, Emily, that I was thinking of saying to you while I was on the plane shower in bed? Okay, listen, you're just so smart. I just love your marriage. And I just love how you love Shane. And I love just how Shane is just so grumpy, you know, and I love how he just grumpily sits in yards and gives dirty look.
oh, actually, those are garden gnomes.
Well, okay. But still, I admire you. And if I came up to you and I said, Emily, Shane's a piece of shit garden gnome, and you're so much better than him, wouldn't that be shitty? Wouldn't that be shitty?
Well, yeah, but if you said that after Shane was like cheating on Emily multiple times, I think you would have had more solid ground to stand on. This doesn't work.
Well, I actually thought Jen had a good point, which is kind of like, you know what? Your husband's not great either. But you know what though? You've chosen him. And my guy, look, you chose Rumpelstiltskin. I chose a water buffalo. And let's just live our lives.
Yeah, okay, but you know what? I just like if you're gonna compare Shane to Ryan, you want to open the door to that. So now Emily's gonna get super offended by that. Emily, none of this is even about you. You're still coming into other people's conversations, and now you're gonna be mortally offended that somebody made a little comment back to you and take it the wrong way.
Yeah. So they all are talking over each other. And Emily's like, in the 2 times that I went to Target, someone came up to me and said, hey, isn't that your coworker at the register working it? And I said, yes, Gina has a job. And then they said, by the way, I heard that Ryan's a really bad guy. He's known as the whore of Newport. Of course, that was also Tamara who came up to me, but that's neither here nor there.
Bizarre.
Who comes up to someone at Target and says, "Did you hear that Ryan's the whore of Newport?" By the way, I feel like I've been to Newport a few times in my life, and I feel like there are probably a good number of people who could probably be labeled the whores of Newport. Okay, like we've seen a lot
It's
going on.
Newport. Yes. So Shannon's like,
Oh, well, hold on, I need a moment to cry. My heart breaks for you. I see how happy you are, and it's just always my wish for that person, in this case, you, lady over there, to find happiness with a man and have no one ask questions about their man. This has nothing to do with me or projection.
and Emily's like, well, okay, well, I want you to be happy too. Okay. And if I'm wrong about him, then okay, fine.
Thank you so much, whoever you are. Let me have that. Like, let me be in my relationship. And if I'm eating a shit sandwich, let me eat it. Or if I'm just eating a regular sandwich, let me eat it. You can really take your hands off my lunch. You can do that, Emily.
And Heather's like, yeah, but she's a grown woman and she's got to make her own decisions. Let's let her do that.
Look, we didn't intervene when Gina moved into a giant shoe. That was her choice. She wanted to live in a boot. So...
Well, there's no part of you that's concerned right now, Jen. And Jen's like, yeah, well, she's concerned, but she chose to be in the relationship. So what are you going to do? And Jen's like, no, I'm not concerned right now because I refuse to sit in a place of being concerned about a relationship. And that's just that. That's just that. I'm there. Look at me. Jen stood up for herself. Okay. Wow, Jen. Wow. You sure told everybody.
Well, do you believe he has a thing for married women? No, Andy. And do you like his denim jackets? That you tried to get. I love him, and he rocks it, and he owns it. And the way I see it is the more often he wears those hideous, hideous jackets, the fewer women are attracted to him.
You know what? I'm prioritized now. I'm the one that he says sorry to first when he cheats on me. So, that's all I really need, Andy. And Gina's like, yeah, you know what? She's the scapegoat in her own story. What the fuck does that mean? Well, what are you trying to be nice to her? It's a testament to her that she doesn't just chuck people into the bus the second she gets a chance.
Oh, so she's just building up a case against other people on the cast at this moment, I think. So Tamra's like,
Well, I apologize, Jen. I'm sorry. It just made me so upset that you knew all this stuff and tried to protect him, bitch. And you're trying to make me look like I'm the liar. And that's what, just because I lied a few times, suddenly I'm the liar now?
You know what, Tamra? We're just going to have to agree to disagree, okay? And Tamra's like,
Well, I hope it's changed. And you know what? I hope you're happy, Jen, because you're amazing. You're an amazing person.
Tamra, you were just calling her a shitty person and a and a fucking cheater and a bitch. Could you not? Like, at least stay in the lane. If you're going to drive in that lane, stay in the lane, Tamra, okay? You're swerving more than Tamra on her way back from the fucking silent woman.
hey everyone, as you can see, we are talking and talking and talking, which means this is a two-part episode. So thank you everyone for listening to part one of this reunion recap of Real Housewives of Orange County. Part two is coming up very shortly here on the podcast feed. So be sure to subscribe and you won't miss a minute of it. And stay tuned for part two, uploading very shortly. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Erin McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg. Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters. Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at